tour after we left 7-Eleven because you guys have to see this beautiful place with my cousin who lives here. She gets to see this every day. You're not seeing what I'm seeing, but if you could see this every day,
you gotta turn the camera.
Life is so peaceful. I'm okay. I'm gonna do this. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready? You ready? Okay. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. Yes. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. Okay. And then on top of that, on top of seeing the beaches, you get the mountains. Look at that. Look at that. All of that. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful palm trees.
On the palm trees here. Like, it's not real. This is not real. Like, in Michigan, you would never see any of this. Like, you literally have to get out of the States and just see the world, because I've never seen something so gorgeous before. So beautiful, so peaceful. And she gets to see this every day. I'm jealous, okay? My cousin right here, if you're not following her, go follow her. Align.
It's Align Talking on YouTube.
Yes, she'll get you right. I'm going to post her information down here. She has been such a blessing. My sister, my soror, my cousin. She allowed me to come stay with her out here for a minute. And I'm so blessed to have this opportunity to see a different world, a different culture, a different way of living, and, you know, just get out of my comfort zone.
Better go for it.
Woo!
Woo! Here you go. Let's do the mids.
Oh, we gotta do the mids? Okay. Can I do it with this? Like, okay. Y'all see this? Okay. Well, they don't see it. Okay, they see it this way. See, there's a whole line of deltas out here in Japan. She is one of those who have crossed. You with the alumni in Japan, correct?
Spring 2014.
Hey, we worldwide out here. We're international. Don't play with us, okay? I reflect on my journey through Japan. It's intriguing how often people ask about your motivations when you mention a visit to this remarkable country. Are you going to go see anime? Are you going to savor the cuisine? They inquire. My response, I was there primarily to visit my cousin. However, as an anthropologist, I couldn't help but take a step back to ponder my impacts on Japan. Upon disbarking from that plane, I had no perceived notion about Japan. Truth be told, I hadn't dove deep into Japanese culture prior to my trip. But as I immersed myself in this fascinating nation, a few stark observations emerged. First, their technological prowess was awe-inspiring. Second, their cultural norms made me feel genuinely welcome. Yet, I was equally taken aback by the fact that Japan has a grappling declining population. During my brief stay, I couldn't conduct any extensive research, but I did witness a stark contrast between large cities and smaller towns in Japan. I stumbled across an article titled Tourism Study and Cultural Anthropology in Japan. It touched upon three intriguing topics: why are tourists engaged in tourism, the social cultural effects of tourism on the host society, and the interaction between tourists and local communities. Being a reflective person and a trained anthropologist, my reasoning for coming to Japan differed from most. I came to visit my cousin, not because Japan was on my desired bucket list, but simply because she invited me. I noticed that when you encounter foreigners in Japan, unless they're English teacher or military personnel, their perspectives differ significantly from tourists who come solely for leisure. There are two distinctive ideologies based on why you're in Japan. Some communities cater to fostering micro communities, minimizing the need to venture beyond their enclave to meet your needs. In contrast, tourists seek to immerse themselves in the local culture without creating a separation. Turning to the second part of the study, the social cultural effects of tourism on the host society. During my time in Tokyo, Hiroshima, Iwakuni, and Kyoto, Western influences were less conspicuous, except in Tokyo. However, for a country that relies on tourism for its economic well-being, Japan must, to some extent, relinquish certain aspects of its cultural identity to embrace communities that do not align with its own ideology. This compromise is necessary to attract foreign visitors and generate substantial revenue. The third topic addresses the culture that evolves through interaction between tourists and the host society. In my perspective, Japan excels in welcoming others into their culture while allowing tourists to retain a sense of their identity during their stay. This is undoubtedly influenced by the disposition and ideology of the Japanese people who call this island nation home. Hate and forgiveness, two of the most potent emotions known to humanity. Hate, a destructive force capable of crushing both body and spirit. As I arrived in Hiroshima, a weight of responsibility settled upon me. Recognizing the devastation inflicted upon Japan by my country, uncertainty filled me as I gazed upon the sole surviving structure amidst the wreckage. It stirred a whirlwind of emotions within me. Walking through the Peace Park, I began to grasp the profound shift in perspective. This standing building, once a symbol of destruction, now stood surrounded by symbols of peace and reconciliation. The very concept of peace and forgiveness is the place where they once seemed impossible began to reshape my understanding. However, it was in the walls of the Peace Museum that my emotions truly crystallized. The museum was unflinchingly honest, its exhibits raw and profoundly significant. Hearing the stories of families searching for their lost loved ones, viewing the preserved garments of those who perished, it all struck a chord deep within me. One haunting image, a man standing on a staircase in one photo, reduced to a shadow in the next, left an indelible mark on my soul. Out of respect for the departed, I refrained from recording within the museum. Yet I felt compelled to share my experience and profound message of peace and forgiveness that resonates within those walls. The museum masterfully recounted the tales of life before, during, and after destruction, painting a vivid picture of the devastating impacts of nuclear weapons on ordinary civilians. If you ever find yourself in Japan, I implore you, visit Hiroshima, explore the museum, and opt for the audio guide. Arrive early to avoid crowds, for this experience is one that will forever alter your perspective. Hiroshima. Me and my beautiful cousin here. We're about to go into the museum. They have
the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum.
Yes, what she said. Right now they have like a festival going on, like flowers, Peace of Flowers, I believe, and it looks like they have a little festival going on over here.
Yeah.
You see back there. So that's pretty dope. We got to ring the bell, and just seeing like parts of the dome, it was just very emotional because it's still there even though it's happened so long ago. So,
and then you also got to see the memorial for the children.
For the children with the different cranes.
Bring the origami crane in memorial to the children.
Yes. So it's definitely beautiful and something that you should see and maybe even take part of. Hiroshima is very different than I thought it would be, and so I think it's a great opportunity to stop here and experience the evolution and how the city has been able to develop and also keep its history as well. So off to the museum. See you wonderful people later. Bye. Got some, what is this called? Just yogurt, ice cream.
So mine is banana chocolate milk. Banana chocolate milk.
And so mine is black sesame. How would you describe this? It's smooth. but then it tastes like sesame seeds at the end. To me, it
tastes a little
does.
bit more.
It tastes roasted too. Yeah.
Yeah, you can taste it. It tastes pretty good though.
Yeah. It's very rich and creamy and flavorful. It's not really sweet though. It's just like
Most desserts here are not.
okay, so most desserts are not here sweet.
Yeah.
Not here sweet, sweet not here.
Are not sweet here.
I can't talk. It's really hot.
That's your bouquets.
What she said.
It's okay.
So it's really warm here, and I should have brought a hat because the overcast is strong and it's humid as well. It reminds me a lot of like New York weather.
すみません。日本語勉強始めたばかりです。So I just started taking Japanese lessons, and so I practice as much as I can. And
She's good.
Kyra is
Bad.
learning. No, she's learning. She's doing well. Duolingo. So she's doing Duolingo, and I'm using another program. But you can't learn it if you don't practice.
Yes.
So we practice.
So I just stay with like the traditional words like what's wrong? Oh, okay. Konnichiwa, arigato. I can't say the other one. Arigato ashimasu.
Oishi. This is delicious. Oishi desu ka?
Oishi esha.
Oishi desu ka? Is that good? Desu ka. Is that good?
Hi.
日本語少し。はい、英語話しますか？Okay. 日本語勉強始めたばかりです。おいしいです。
Alright. See you guys on another installment. Yeah.
Next, the museum. We're going inside the museum.
Alright. So after leaving the museum, we decided to take a leisurely stroll around. It was quite surprising to me because there were sports games happening right there by the river, and I found myself absolutely fascinated. There was even a little skate park nearby, and I couldn't help but think like, oh my goodness, this is cool. We need to go check it out. The sight of kids skateboarding around was really cool, and it drawed me in. I hadn't done too much research about Hiroshima before coming. In fact, we almost didn't come here because I have the misconception that it might be a depressing place. However, to my delight, I found out it was far from it. There were food stalls set up, something I'd seen in blogs before and videos, but like, wow, this was actually a thing. I decided to try some of the local foods and experience the cultural flavors of the food markets. In Michigan, where I'm from, we have our own cultural events with unique foods, but this was a chance to explore something different. I even gave octopus legs or squid tentacles a shot. I must admit, I really enjoy them deep fried, but you'll hear my thoughts on that later. We continued to wander around trying various dishes from different stalls, and it was an absolute blast. But here's the crazy part. As I and my cousin were talking, I noticed this girl walking by. You see, in Hiroshima, in my experience, you don't see too many African Americans, so I couldn't resist and I had to go say hi to her. I'm a pretty friendly person, so I wanted to know more about her and like maybe even become friends. But she walked past me without even acknowledging me, which gave me a thought of like, you know, when you're in another country, people who look like you might not necessarily strike up conversations. As me and my cousin were discussing this, something incredible happened. I felt a tap on my back, and there were 6 African American students from Atlanta. They were here on an exchange program, and we hit it off instantly. We headed back to the skate park where there was amazing DJs playing house music, and it turned into a full-blown party. We even danced with some Japanese women who started twerking, and we even met fellow travelers from Palestine, Brazil, and the Netherlands. We exchanged contact information and just had an amazing time.
And then I have cheese. Cheese. This is a lot. You want to taste this?
The museums, it was definitely impactful. Now we have our food to eat. This is octopus. No, squid.
Take a little bite off of there. Oishi desu ka?
Oishi desu ka?
No, I'm asking if it's good, and so if it's good, it's oishi.
Oishi. So they have a flower festival going on. They have different foods. They're very thick. And she has, you have the pork.
I got beef.
I think you did get beef.
Have a little bite. It's tough.
You want me to try to chopstick you? It's really tender. Like, after you bite through it, it's not hard to it's hard to bite through. Would I get it again? It just
Wish you can say you have.
yeah, it doesn't have a taste though. But it doesn't taste fishy or anything.
So the sauce didn't.
There's not that much sauce.
Here's some salt. Some salt seasoning.
Did you try it? It's good? Oishi? Oishi? Aye. So I'll try this seasoning. The girl had the top part of the squid. Maybe I should have went with that. How do you say their name farewell is? Bye. Bye. Okay. Okay, this is spicy now.
Spicy. You put too much on here.
The only odd thing that happened was this random Asian started taking pictures of us without asking. It made me feel a bit uncomfortable because I'm totally fine with someone asking for my photos, but that's about the only hiccup in our otherwise fantastic day.
And then you select what you want. This is extra noodles and egg. This is just the ramen itself, and then these extra stuff.
I'm shaking it with me.
And then when you go to the front, you'll give it to all.
I'll give it to them.
No, when they sit us down, you'll take the sheet.
Okay.
And I'll make it how you want.
Okay, and then what do I do with the ticket in my hand?
You get that. Okay.
Give it both to him? Okay.
Okay.
As we ended our trip eating ramen with some new friends that we met in line, I have to say that this was one of the best days ever. And if you continue to watch, you will see some of these people come up again. So thanks guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. And if you are somebody in another country and I don't know.